Check 1, 2, check the mic. I'm going to try to lower my levels a bit today because I'm still getting peaking when I record. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit and see what happens. So apologies if I'm a little bit quiet. And yes, this is live! We're live! Look, here's me! We're not ready yet! Where's that button? Okay. Oh, my mic is on. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. This really requires a ton of breath strength in order to make this whistle. Let me turn this music. That made a loud noise. What are you seeing over here? Is it here? No. Is it here? Is it here? It is this thing. I would like this to be out of your view, or maybe it should just be in the view. Let's just have it be in the view. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this at all. Oh boy. I meant to stream at 10:30 a.m. Eastern today, which was about 5 hours ago. And I said, well, the latest I could possibly start streaming would be 3:30. But I still wasn't ready, but I had to turn it anyway. Will you please excuse me for a moment while I send an important message? I'm going to give you the full this dot with lyrics for a moment.
As always, I always
talk amongst yourselves in the chat.
This dot, I'm going to do this dot, this
Muting
dot,
my
I'm going to
mic.
do this dot.
I'm really going to be right, but it's taking me more time to explain that I'm going to just take a second and play the music than it actually is going to take. But I'll be right.
This dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot. This dot, this dot, this dot, this dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot. This dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do dot, this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot. This dot, this dot.
All right, here we are. I'm back. So I want to talk about what I am planning to do today on today's stream. I want to answer a bunch of questions that I'm seeing scroll by in the chat right now, which is like, oh wait, but St. Plays Things is answering for me. This font is so small in this little view of the chat that I have. I need my special old man glasses to be able to read, which these already are. They just need to be turned. I need the old dial on them to be turned up. These are progressive lenses. Do you know what progressive lenses are? They're when you need a separate prescription to see in front of you and to read something. But I have progressive lenses, but I've had them and my eyes have gotten worse. They need to be more progressive. Although, amazingly, if I take my glasses off, I can actually see something. You just like stick it into my eyeball, and I'm so nearsighted that basically I can see the stuff that's inside my eyeball. It makes no sense whatsoever. Did you hear the thing about what was the thing about the, oh yeah, MoviePass. Movie Pass. The new Movie Pass. I don't know if you've heard about this. So Movie Pass was a thing. This is totally a tangent. Movie Pass was a thing years ago where you could pay $5, $10 a month, see any amount of movies you want. Didn't really work out as a business model. Was kind of like a bit of a bubble, if you will. And then I just saw like a headline pass over that Movie Pass is coming back. And now you can watch an ad in order to rack up some credits to see a movie. And the Movie Pass app is going to track your eyeballs to make sure you're watching the ad. What could possibly go wrong? Let me track your eyeballs to make sure you're glued to attention to this coding lesson. Otherwise, you will not ingest the coding knowledge that I am attempting to inject directly into your eyeball. Can you tell that I'm a little bit amped? There were questions in the chat. I wanted to read something that Simon wrote. I'm going to read a quote from Simon here. Apologies that I can't bring the chat up here. There is this wonderful thing called Disstream Chat. If I could ever get my act together and try to set up my stream more than like 5 minutes before I start. By the way, I need to have my Discord member chat visible here because that's where I will get emergency messages like no one can hear anything you're saying. And Dusk is in the audience. Dusk, it's wonderful to hear from you. I should message you because I got some updates and things you might be interested to know about, but no pressure, but send me a direct message. This is live, yes. Okay, wait, here is the quote. So, by the way, Discord, or I don't know, supporters across all various things, Twitch subscribers, YouTube members, Patreon things. By the way, I have GitHub sponsors now. I'm exploding in ways that you could support me. I'm like going all in on my sabbatical year. But if there is something important, I have the live chat member, supporter, patron, GitHub sponsor channel open. So use that. You can chat amongst yourselves there, but if there's something urgent, use, and only in the case of emergency, not like, you guys can figure out, you all can figure out what's an emergency. Use those red siren emojis. I'm looking at the chat. I want to read this. Okay, here we go. First of all, I'm going to get to the comments I'm going to read from Simon, but first I have to answer. Center Shocks 44, where is the doggo can? Apologies. Gloria is resting quietly in her own bed in the house right now. I just couldn't get it together to bring her here. No doggo cam. But if you love Gloria Pickle, which I know you do, and if you don't, there is something very, very wrong with you. And I insist that you turn this Twitch stream off right now. But I have good news for you if you love Gloria Pickle, because one of the reasons why I'm late today is it was my absolute entire goal to have the new video released right before I go live on Twitch. Because this is Simon's comment. I like this. Every Friday he releases the previous one, records the current one, and chooses the next one. Exactly. This is what I'm attempting to do. I don't think I'm going to get this weekly. If I can get this like 3 weeks a month, I'm happy. I'm a happy choo-choo. That's not a thing I can be, is it? A choo-choo? No. I'm a happy conductor of the coding train, but my goal is, and I'll kind of go through all this again in a moment. The first thing that happens is a coding challenge is released. Boom! People on YouTube can watch it. I arrive here on Twitch or YouTube streaming, we'll get to that, to do the next coding challenge. That goes into the can, recorded to disk, and then I spin the wheel to pick what I will do a week from today on next Friday's stream. And then the one that I do today will get edited and posted to YouTube with all sorts of fanfare. And boy, did we double down, the Coding Train production team has really doubled down on the fanfare for this video. So I wish it was there already, because one of the things I want to do is like look through the comments and answer questions. If all goes according to plan, I've got to be done by like 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. at the very latest, I think. And I got to keep an eye on my messages because my kids are coming home from school, and in case there's like anything urgent going on, we just have to like shut this thing down immediately. But what I would like to do after I do the coding challenge that I am about to do is, and I don't know to what extent I'll be able to show you everything behind the scenes on my screen. I'm looking over here because this is my monitor. I can see this over there. But if I press this, like I would like to open up. Ooh, what's going on here? The lighting is a little bit weird today in here. Why? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. I have to think about, is this darker than usual? Oh, I don't have the fluorescents on. Aha, I forgot. The fluorescent lights are the key. I mean, this is very embarrassing, but I have all this expensive lighting equipment, and for some reason I have everything tuned to the fluorescent. So I'm going to talk. I've got this wireless mic on, which is another thing I need to talk about, the wireless mic situation. Oh my goodness. Wait. But I was very specifically on the train track with something what was important to mention. I would like to, and I'll be right back. I mean, you're not going to see me you don't know that I'm going anywhere. Hopefully you can still hear me. You might get a little interference as I walk away, or the wireless signal might cut in and out, but as I'm going to turn on these lights. But what I would like to do is maybe release the video live on Twitch. You can go over to YouTube and watch it. If you comment over there, I will answer your question live on Twitch, that kind of thing. So we'll see if we can get to that. But before I can get to any of that, I have got to record today's coding challenge. And you might be wondering, what is the topic? And I am coming right back to tell you. Here I am. Let me just quickly scroll and take a peek at the chat. Bruno says, Dan, I made a Wordle variant. Do you want to play it? Yes, but I just have to implore everybody. Let me just see something here. Much better. That's the whiteboard shot. Tell me how the focus is on that. I want to implore everybody to try not to distract me right now. Because if I am going to make, if I am going to make this thing happen, record the next coding challenge, it's got to happen now. I've got to get started with that. Let me take a peek at the chat. Yeah, share it on the Discord. Whiteboard looks good. Oh, Mathieu's here. Okay, everybody give a huge, in advance round of applause. I mean, there's lots of people to thank in this world for a variety of reasons. There's plenty of people to thank who helped me with coding train stuff. There's you, the viewer. I thank you just for watching. But Mathieu has really gone above and beyond this week. When you see the video on YouTube, I really want to hear. Like, actually, one of the things I've generally the feedback has been positive, and people are pushing me further in this direction. But there is this big question. Like, I think Mathieu and I have been discussing this, and I've been talking about this with lots of people. I want to improve and increase and augment the videos so that they're more fun to watch, include additional educational material, more humor, higher quality. But I don't want to be so obsessive over the production value that I can only make one coding video per year. So got to find the right balance there. And I want to see if we can get something down to at least a new video every week. And then there's so much more to say about this, but I got to stop myself. All right. BTB331, wonderful screen name BTB311, says, but distracting you is the fun bit. I agree. Welcome to my life where I am constantly distracting myself all the time. Also, did you know you could do that clip thing? I didn't have that nice rant about MoviePass. Don't you want to clip that and share it? I don't know. Oh, look, I'm just your old pushing 50 streamer, YouTuber, old man person who desperately was maybe never loved enough his whole life and wants more attention. I mean, it's just true. I was trying to be I'm a serious professor and I teach classes and I'm writing these books, but no, it's all just about me. I've got this wonderful screen that shows my face back to me. I can just stare at it as I talk to you and just suck in the internet attention points as much as I possibly can. I feel it just shooting out of the camera, all of your eyeballs. Just. All right, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Okay, there was some kind of something, 500 something is $5. Somebody just gave me some money, I think, which is always very awkward, but thank you. All right, so let's talk about, I got to just get started. So a couple things. One is, it's really interesting to me that I believe that my audio does not have this peaking problem when I am speaking to you, but yet the recorded audio does. But let me know, did you hear some especially as I talk down really loud like this? Oh yeah, it's way up in the red. So I want to be able to adjust that a bit. And then I think the most important thing that I do not forget is to be recording what I'm doing here to disk. Because if I don't record it to disk, we have nothing. I mean, the Twitch stream will always live. It will live on. I mean, will it? This is the thing. I don't know what to do about this. I'm not archiving and saving my Twitch streams right now. They will just like get deleted eventually at some point, won't they? I'm saving stuff to disk so that I can repurpose it, but it's not the actual Twitch stream itself that's being saved to disk. It's like this Frankenstein multiple video files of different video feeds. So, and it's not the whole thing because I haven't turned it on yet recording. So should I, for these Twitch streams, I will be streaming on YouTube next week because I'm one of the things, I still have some of these sponsors who sponsor my live streams that I'm not so sure if I should be using them on Twitch, and I have one that's booked for next week, so I should probably go back and do that on YouTube. And I'm just gonna have to decide at some point in the future if I'm doing both or just one. But should I set up like a second, oh, there's the boiler. Should I set up a second channel just to suck like the Twitch streams and archive them like a weekday or two later? Should I put them directly on the YouTube channel? Talk amongst yourselves. I'm not gonna see it in the comments. Circle back into the Discord. Somebody remind me about that. Okay. Now, I'm going to open up my recording machine. I need to highlight every live stream. Oh, wait, hold on, cancel. So I'm opening up my recording machine, which has recording all the different feeds. Audio, video desynchronized, but everybody's saying it's okay. All right. So interesting. Hold on. I just got to like do some kind of double vision here. You might be wondering what I'm doing. I'm trying to see if the audio level from the mic is the same in both instances. I'm running 2 instances of OBS with 2 different layouts, one for streaming, one for recording to disk, and the audio peaks. So I want to turn this is a bad test right now. I'm just going to turn, I don't know what to turn down. Let's try turning this down a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to turn that down. I realize I might be a little bit quiet now for you, but when I get really loud, get really loud. Get really loud. Wait, that seems to not be going up past the yellow, getting loud. I'm going to wait for the boiler to shut off, but let me know if this is too quiet or if you're pumping up your volume if you hear a lot of noise. I am planning to purchase a brand new lav mic. I also am getting a arm fancy microphone thingy that I can put here, so at least when I'm standing here, I could have a mic. I don't know if I want that in the shot or if I'm going to like that, and of course I'm going to need to go over to the whiteboard, so I'm always going to need a lav, but I really want to improve the sound. I gotta just put the sound foam on the ceiling because it's very echoey. It's like I've had it for what, I don't know, 3 or 4 months now. I just can't find the time to do it. So that's gotta happen. All right. All right. Just looking at the chat. If you're just tuning in, I feel like the beginning of the stream was the best part. You missed it. It's all gonna be downhill from here, far downhill. Although, honestly, what you want to be here for, or if you even do want to be here for anything. I'm so embarrassed. Let me go back to here for a second. So let's do what we're going to do today. Yes, okay. I know what I need to do now. So we're going to go, thank goodness. That went away. All right, so here we are. Here's me watching my own Twitch stream. Oh my God, my hair is so gray. I think it always was this gray, and something about the lighting in here really brings it out. I went to the barber shop, and the barber said to me that my hair is very thin on top, and I said, I know, it is. It is. Thank you for that information. I'm looking for clips. All right, I don't know how to find them, but I know I can do /clips. So last week, if you remember, previously on the coding train, and I clipped this myself. This happened 7 days ago. I spun the wheel. Let's click on this. Let's get some sound going. Press this button, spin the wheel. I'm going to press it a bunch of times and see where it lands. This is what I'm doing next Friday.
If you're watching this, I'm committed to it.
I'm watching it. What's it gonna be?
Whoa! Wow, shocker of all shockers. We got the Ulam spiral.
Ulam spiral. All right, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm really struggling to decide whether I want to do it in processing or P5, but probably makes sense for me to do in P5. And let's take a look. It's also known as the prime spiral. So let's take a look at this. This is really a throwback, at least, into the classic coding train, coding challenge. I mean, this is what I really would like to do. And, you know, famous last words. I'm sure I'm going to turn this into like a 3-hour video somehow. But I do sort of, and I have not programmed this. The only thing I did since last Friday and today is read this Wikipedia page. That's all I did. I mean, I had an awareness of what the prime spiral was anyway. This was actually mentioned to me as a possible video topic at ThinkerCon by Matt Parker, who is of the Stand Up Maths YouTube channel. I don't remember the exact context of the conversation, but I sort of filed it away, squirreled it away in my brain. And so this looks like something that I could do, I think, in a very short period of time. And my goal would be, I think I would like to create essentially this visualization as well as this, and then expand it out to this, and then eventually. So I really just want to recreate exactly what's on this Math World page. And people are rating. Hello, I'm being rated. This has never happened before. I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm not too worried about it because it says it's a party of 2, and I think we can take them. Coding train. Is it? But when we rated, it's very important that the coding train is the most polite and friendly and deferential rating party that there is on the internet. That's very important to me. I don't know. What is this raid party? Very small raid. Please continue. All right, I continue. So I'm going to code this, and I got to stop like doing too much. I didn't actually hit record. I better remember to hit record. Let me do that. I'm going to hit start recording. Just checking the chat here. Just sorry, the chat amused me for a moment. So if I had a little giggle, let me read to you what made me giggle. How did they board the train without a station? It's a mystery, everybody. It's a mystery. By the way, I can't wait. Nothing brings me more happiness. Well, some things do probably, to be perfectly honest. But this brings me an immense amount of joy and happiness to be here live streaming. I just really enjoy it. And yet, at the same time, my entire body just is thinking, oh my God, I can't wait till this is over. I can't wait till this is over. Because it's like Friday. And it's been a long week. And I know I'm on sabbatical, but I got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of responsibilities. And I need a break. And I think I might get one a little bit. I'll feel good if I can successfully do this. If I can get that video out, I will have accomplished my goal for the week. The sad truth is, there's a lot of things I'm leaving on the goal floor, the floor of goals, which is like I love the Olympics. I want to watch more Olympics. I love curling. Oh boy, do I even have a play tabletop curling board. Curling, that should be the coding challenge for today, but it's not. That'll take me 700 hours if this was going to take me 3. But I haven't really been able to take the time to work on the Nature of Code book, and I posted a commitment to it on Twitter. Let me just quickly, oops, that's Twitch, that's not Twitter. Why is everything? I did a commitment to, I'm going to go look at my profile and bring it here and say, I'm just coming, I want to very specifically, so if I come back here, I want to announce this here. I'm just really trying to make this commitment. You know, one of the things that I should know this lesson by now, because boy have I learned it the hard way 100 times over in my life. But it's so much better to just make the thing and put the thing out in the world than try to have the perfect thing. And I think that to some extent, my obsession with certain details about the Nature of Code book has been a huge roadblock. Also, my motivation, my time, a global pandemic, etc. But I was looking it up, and the first edition Nature of Code book was published. I mean, the book was available before this date through Kickstarter and various other means, but the actual publish date was December 13th, 2012. So this year, 2022, December 13th, is it a Friday? Friday the 13th, 2022, it will be the 10-year anniversary of the book. And basically, if I don't have the second edition out by then, I just might as well not bother. That's how I feel about it right now. So I've got to carve out time for it. If that means at some point this year I have to just shut down sort of the coding train for like a couple weeks and just head down, only work on the book, I might have to do that. Maybe it's a couple months, a couple weeks. Maybe it's not till September. Maybe it's in May. I don't know. Hopefully I can do them both. But I'm making this commitment. Follow along. Cheer me on, help out. There's no way, I don't have any way that people can help right now. But at some point if I do, yeah. All right. So let's see. So now, I'm procrastinating, but I shall procrastinate no more. I would like to shut this down in an hour and 10 minutes if possible, because I will have to make dinner for my lovely children. Hold on, I have to reply to this message. Please talk amongst yourselves before I'm going to get started. Okay, how many of you left? I don't know what it said before. Sorry, I'm just having to coordinate. I have multiple children who need to be picked up and dropped off, and in various complicated puzzle pieces, and I'm solo parenting here for a couple weeks. So, Daniel's asking, what are you all having for dinner? My plan. I make a mean Impossible burger. Yes, so that's the plan. Some nice Impossible burgers with some delicious sauce. Maybe like some steamed broccoli. That's my plan. That's my cooking ability there. A little summed up. Okay. Come with me. Let's go erase the whiteboard. So I think I focused it properly. I do not have a whiteboard eraser. I do happen to have a paper towel. And I mean, this is like the worst time of day for me to be streaming based on various, but it's just what had to happen for today. I mean, maybe it might be nice. You can see I haven't been in here since last Friday. It would be nice for me to erase this maybe more than like a week later. I have a cup of water here, and I think it'll help if I get some water. I do not see the chat right now. That's the other thing. I need to make a list of all of the various upgrades I want to make in this studio. Soundproofing, new whiteboard, new microphone, plural. What was the other thing that I was thinking over here? I don't remember. Oh, yes, more monitors to be able to sort of see live chat, especially a monitor for when I'm at the whiteboard. I'm sure this is what you were all hoping to watch during today's stream. Me just like very methodically and aggressively erase this whiteboard. Oh, my arm hurts. I've been trying to exercise more, and it's not going so well. It's very cold. By the way, the other thing is it's like I've been having such an issue with the weather because I do have electric heaters in this garage, but it's been, very, very cold here in New York State. But it's actually hit 50 degrees today. I feel quite warm. So this is a bit of an anomaly. If I'm still doing this in a few months, you'll probably see me in like a t-shirt and shorts in here. Though sometimes I feel like I should dress up. The thing is, I took a shower. I was like, let me find a nice shirt, and I tried to kind of comb my hair a little bit to live stream. I'm working from home these days, people. So this is my main interface with the world here, which is very strange given that ultimately, if you were to just peer in through the window over there, you'd just be like, who is this person talking to themselves? Okay. Oh, my goodness. Come on, whiteboard. Yes, you can be clean. There's all these little smudges, but I'm getting them. I should get a proper eraser, maybe one of those like spray things, sort of like eco-friendly whiteboard spray. Is that called water? A spray water bottle. I have one of those. I use it to spray the cats, because those cats, they like to get up on the counters and try to eat all of the food that I'm cooking. They're lovely cats, but Gloria Pickle. Okay. All right, we're just about there. Okay. All right, whiteboard is ready. Whiteboard marker, check. A quick test of the marker. Quick check of the focus. Actually, you know what? I can see it better over on monitor, just to see if that looks in focus. It does look in focus. Upgrade actual eraser. Yeah, I'm having a bit of a frustration about so I don't know what year this boiler is from. It's probably from the 70s, I would guess. I'm sure I could look. But I have a full array, you're not going to believe this, of 44 solar panels on the roof of this garage. They are plugged in, ready to go. They are pointed at the sun. And the sun rises, the sun sets. But Central Hudson, who is the energy provider up here, has to, I've been waiting forever. They have to upgrade the transformer on the street, and they haven't done it yet. So I'm just waiting and waiting. I can't wait till this can really be solar powered in here, but soon enough, I hope. And then I can do some electric heat and more other types of things. All right, so how to approach this? So let me think about a couple things that I want to say. So prime numbers are a wonderfully fascinating area of mathematics, the study of prime numbers, because they seemingly exhibit no specific pattern. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say in this video to introduce the idea. What are the main facts about prime numbers? It's a natural number greater than 1 that is not a product of two smaller natural numbers. Like I probably could have come up with that on my own. Otherwise, it's a composite number. Right, this is what I wanted to talk about. There are infinitely many primes, but no known formula separates prime numbers from composite numbers. And the distribution can be statistically modeled. And there's lots of unresolved questions, Goldbach's conjecture. Every integer greater than 2 can be expressed as the sum of two primes. I did a video about sort of like coprime versus prime probabilities and pi. And then they show up in cryptography and all sorts of things. So this is where having a script to a video would be good, just to sort of like talk about and introduce the idea of prime numbers and look at all these interesting visualizations. But the prime spiral, and I'm going to be doing this all again. I'm just kind of rehearsing for a moment here, and you can let me know if you have interesting things you think I should reference or say in the chat. The idea of the prime spiral, which is known as Ulam spiral, is this surprising notion that this pattern emerges if you take a number line of all natural numbers and arrange it in a spiral. You sort of walk along a spiral. I'll diagram this on the whiteboard. And then you go ahead and mark every instance of a prime number with a dot. What occurs is the prime numbers end up being arranged in these kind of diagonal lines. And as it gets larger and larger, you can start to see that as we go further and further out and get higher resolution, you can start to see that. Unexpected patterns of diagonal lines are apparent in such a plot, which was first made by Polish-American mathematician Stanislaw Ulam while doodling during a boring talk at a scientific meeting. And while drawing a grid of lines, he decided to number the intersections according to a spiral pattern. And then I believe there was a Martin Gardner article about it. Is that referenced on this page? Yeah, Mathematical Recreations, the Remarkable Lore of the Prime Number. Can I find this? I read many a year ago. Let's see if we can find this. What is this? This is just like a reference to it. Oh, this is just the online encyclopedia of integer sequences. Oh yeah, this is like one of my favorite. Oh, I love that. I forgot about this website, which is like totally one of my favorite websites in the world. But I want to find this article. Can I find it to reference it? Internal Ulam spiral. PDF. No, this is something more recent. It's probably referencing it. Does anyone looking in the chat? Where's the book of random numbers? Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Gardner, Scientific American. Is this going to actually pull it up? Let's see if we can get any of these. Nope. Oh, this is interesting. This is the paper. There we go. JSTOR. Now, I believe, I think I can get into this via my NYU account. Let's find this. I mean, I know how to do all this when I'm on campus, but let me just go out of here for a second because I prefer not to show the NYU login process, which I have to two-factor into. There we go. I am in. Okay, so this is good. I'm going to show this to you now. So what happens if I press download? What am I going to get? I accept. I accept. There we go. There we go. Look at this. All right. So Mathieu, I don't know if you're still watching, but we will capture this separately to show and scroll. I would prefer to actually just save this. So let me open this up here. I mean, the reason, you know what, if this is simple enough, again, famous last words, but if this is simple enough that I can do this in a short period of time, what I might like to do is make a P5JS version of this to run in the browser, and then quickly port it, to processing, and then use processing to render like the highest resolution one that I possibly can. But let's just try to pull up this page here. The set P appears to exhibit a strongly non-random, so this is, to me, this is what's so fascinating about this. The set P, which is of prime numbers, appears to exhibit a strongly non-random appearance, a different appearance from randomly chosen sets whose densities are like those of primes. So we should compare this. We should do this a probabilistic way, right? So asymptotically log n over n. This is due, of course, to the fact that some lines corresponding to quadratic forms are factorable or devoid of primes. Other quadratic forms are rich of primes. I'm reading it like I totally understand everything, and I'm just like, but I'd have to, take some time to soak this in. A glance at a picture showing the set P reveals many such lines. It is a property of the visual brain which allows one to discover such lines at once and also notice many other peculiarities of distribution of points in two dimensions. Again, this is arguably, there's a number file video? Should I just watch that right now? So, I mean, I have this hang up about what it is that I'm doing. And part of me often feels like what I should be doing is researching this topic, writing a script about it, and then like producing a little video. But that's not what I do. What I do is I look at a concept, maybe I have passing familiarity with it, maybe I even have some expertise in it, maybe it's the first time I'm ever looking at it. It's a wide spectrum there. And I shouldn't say expertise, I should say experience probably. I'm not sure what my expertise is other than like internet hijinks. So I think I just got to lean into what it is that I'm doing. And at worst, I could always re-record an introduction to this coding challenge where I explain the prime spiral in more of a rehearsed or scripted way to sort of like show it. Let's just quickly look at the number file video. I did not, I thought I'd seen every, and maybe I've watched it and I just don't remember. Oh, from 2013. That might be why.
They're quite weird in the way they behave. On one hand, they kind of feel random. They're turning up all over the place. Sometimes you have these long gaps between primes, and then suddenly, you, like buses, you get a couple of primes turn up at once. On the other hand, there are things that we can predict about primes and when they're going to turn up, which is slightly unexpected that you can do that. They're not completely random. One of the first things I want to show you.
I've watched this before.
We're going to write the numbers in a square spiral. You start with 1 in the middle, and you write 2. You go around it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you see the pattern then? It's a square spiral. 12, 13, 14, 15. It's called an Ulam spiral. Stanisław Ulam. He was a Polish mathematician, and he left Poland just before World War II, and he went to America, and he worked on the Manhattan Project. After World War II, he went to academia. The story of this spiral is he was sat in a very boring lecture in academia. It was in 1963, and so he's obviously a fan of Vi Hart or someone. He sat there doodling during this boring lecture, and he's writing out numbers. 30, 31.
That's so lovely.
The next thing he did was start to circle prime numbers. So let's do that. 2 is a prime, and then 3, and then 5, and 7.
Okay, I can't watch this now because this is basically what I'm intending to do, and I feel like I'm just going to be copying the number file video. So I'm going to turn this off. I'll 41 and more Ulam spiral. Oh, there's another one from 8 years ago. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'll watch this later. I'm sure there's some interesting tidbits in here that I could learn, but I think it's too much if I watch it. Okay, I love your approach. It captures the process and demonstrates that you don't need to know everything before starting a project, which as a beginner can be a barrier to entry. Hello, Melissa Rodriguez. That's so nice of you to say. And I believe this is the Melissa Rodriguez that I'm a big fan of on Twitter with all sorts of beautiful generative art. Love your work. And I know your name says hello, but I was actually saying hello, just in case you're wondering. All right, so I got to stop procrastinating here. Let's go to this page. I think this is a good page for me to reference. I have, wait, hold on. I should close out a lot of things that I'm not using. Just to kind of clean, oh, I need this. I just want to get the preamble here. Mathematical notes, material for this, a visual display of some properties of distribution of primes. So is this from the American Mathematical Monthly? By the way, a little known fact is that my father is a mathematician and was the editor, no longer of, I don't know which mathematical journal, I'm sure somebody can look it up, but I don't believe he would have been the editor for this particular article that we happen to be looking at in 1963, although that's, yeah, no, he would have not been the editor then, but he could have been reading this article then. Anyway, come back to that another time. By the way, my grandfather, you should really look up my grandfather, Max Schiffman, who did research at the Institute for Advanced Study at Princeton with all sorts of famous names that you may or may not have heard of. Got a little, and then if you read the dedication in my Nature of Code book, my grandmother was one of the first women PhDs in mathematics in the 1930s and studied under Richard Courant. I was going to say right here at NYU, but I'm not at NYU right now. A little family history there for you all. And me, I'm just like a goofball on YouTube. Oh, what have I done with my life? Okay. It's actually getting a little cold in here. I might need to turn the little space heater by my feet. I'm not recording. Oh, I am recording. I'm going to hit stop. I'm going to hit start again just to get a fresh file going. All right. I got to get going with this. Okay. All right, I'm going to begin. I honestly have no idea what I'm about to do exactly, other than the Ulam spiral, and I know what that is. Where did everybody go? There were lots of people watching. I think I got to get going with the coding, and people might come back. I'll put this down here. I have this water. Where is my marker? Okay. All right, everybody. I am recording. This is coding challenge number 167. The Ulam spiral or the prime spiral, not sure which I will call it. Take 1, which I hope will be the only take ever in the history of this coding challenge. And by the way, Mathieu, whenever you're reviewing this footage, feel free to use anything and everything from this, even that little introduction thing, if that's of interest. But I'm going to do my performance introduction thing as we go. All right. Please, let's just dub in the train whistle sound because I have to use all of my force. I mean, I can actually play you a sound right now. Do I have one? Train whistle? I can't find where it is, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. But I'm not going to waste all my energy on blowing the train whistle. Sometimes I like to use the bell. But the bell, I think the bell is for the bell. I got it. Train whistle for coding challenge. Bell for like the sequence tutorials, which I need to get back into recording. Okay, really, this is really going to happen now. Hello and welcome to today's coding challenge, the prime spiral, also known as the Ulam spiral. Now, last time on the coding train over on my Twitch stream, I spun a wheel of ideas and it landed on the Ulam spiral. That was a week ago. I spent over the past week, I spent maybe about 10 minutes in preparation reading the, probably some combination of the Wikipedia page and the Wolfram Math World page on the Ulam spiral. And I am ready here to tell you what it is and implement it in code. And my hope is that you, after watching this video, will make some creative version of it. Remember I said I was going to do this in one take? Just give me like a second take. That's it. Just two. But I really don't like doing multiple takes because it ruins the authenticity of the pureness of the coding challenge. And the first one, maybe we should just use that first one. Let's just use it. I'm going to just keep going. And it's my hope that you will make your own creative twist on the Ulam spiral, and I can't wait to see what that might be. From what I understand in my little bit of research, and I'll just put stuff on the screen and in the video description when I inevitably get something wrong, is that in 1963, the Polish mathematician Stanislaw Ulam was famously doodling during a lecture, bored and doodling, and started, so I'm reading the chat. I should be reading the chat while I've kind of got some momentum here. I forgot what I was saying. And started doodling by drawing a number line in a spiral pattern. So first of all, the thing that I'm going to visualize, which is drawn right here in this 1964 article from American Mathematics, what's it from? From American Mathematical Monthly. This is the end result of what I'm hoping to see at the end of this coding challenge, an original visualization of the Ulam spiral itself. So there's really two things that I need to figure out in the course of this video how to code. One is this spiral number line, and then also some mechanism, some algorithm by which I could determine whether a number is prime or not prime. Let me start by drawing out this. All right, so by the way, everyone, just so you know, when I forgot to press the button, which is no big deal. I mean, it's a major pain in the neck for you. Like if I forget to press the button to go over to the whiteboard, you can't see what I'm doing. The good news is I'm recording all of the camera feeds separately, so nothing will be lost. So I see that there was a comment, Cam from Fun Planet. So you should remind me of those things. One slightly unfortunate thing is when I'm over there, I can't really see the chat. I'm hoping to set up a new monitor over there. So apologies again for emergencies. Any of you watching who are in, I'm looking at a highlighted message, but I didn't fully understand that, Simon. Any of you who are watching who happen to be in the supporter channels in the Discord, just toss a lot of emergency alarm bells into the chat, and I should be able to see it out of the corner of my eye, even from over there. And I am recording to disk, yes. And I'm switching to, that whole time I was on the whiteboard, sorry. I think that's another thing for the list of upgrades. I can automate this, no problem, where it just switches based on where I am. I mean, that really should be a thing that I do as a project at some point. Okay. So let's begin by drawing the spiral as an ordered list of natural numbers, starting with the number 1. Hold on, I just want to look at a reference for a second, because now I'm realizing Right, okay. I just wanted to look at a reference like 1, oh, you don't see this. 1 is in the center, which is what I thought. Okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't get to the... Yeah. Yeah, I know I'm kind of out of order, Simon, but I think I'm going to flow it all together, I think. I mean, I kind of want to start the whole thing over. Like, just because it took me a minute to just figure out where I was and what I was doing. Maybe I will. We can use bits of each, Mathieu, when we put it together. But let me start the whole thing over, just because I kind of lost track and I've lost my rhythm. Yeah, Deep Space, there's a longer answer to your question about Twitch versus YouTube, but yeah, here I am. I forgot to post on the YouTube community thingy-mabob. All right, anyway, this seems like probably people just joined, so let me start over. But then I really got to get moving here. Okay. This is from American Mathematical Monthly. Okay. How can I, yeah. Okay. All right. Welcome to another coding challenge, the prime spiral, or also known as the Ulam. All right, everybody, this is like my enforced break time, which really is bad right now to happen, because whenever that boiler comes on, there's not anything I can really do about it. Just have to wait for it to shut off. I can answer questions in the chat. Hello to Soswuta and Clan Rivals and Bitstone. I love the names of people on Twitch. I should also check to make sure I have no emergency messages about pickup of children or anything of the sort. So let me just check my messages. Okay. All good? Everything's good with the pickup of my children. Oh my goodness! Ending with Ali is raiding with a party of 9. Okay, everyone. Put up your defenses. We are the most polite people on the internet, the Coding Train community. We are friendly. We are welcoming. Please do not hurt us in your raid. Just come in. We are full of unicorns and rainbows and cupcakes, and they're vegan, even the cupcakes, and there's fluffy clouds. Don't bring your Twitch weapons here. Yes, I am not. I'm like an aspiring Canadian. Sorry about that. Sorry. I'm very sorry. I apologize once again for the boiler, for the noise, for wasting your time, for what I'm sure going to do, botch this visualization of the Ulam spiral. Come on, boiler. I think I kind of want to figure out a way to just switch the thing off, but I'm slightly afraid to do that. That's another thing I need to research. How do I just because I can turn it off for an hour. It's no big deal. Ending with Ali. Lost Sorcerer extends an honorary Canadian status to the Coding Train. No, I'm sorry. That seems like a lot of trouble. Please, don't go through all that trouble. I apologize. I apologize for even bringing it up in the first place. Just keep going. My children are not home, and actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little too personal here, but there is a middle school dance tonight. So anyway, so there's a staggered pickups, and it's you don't need to. I don't need to bore you with all these details. Usually, literally a switch on the side. All right, let me go look. I'm walking over to the boiler. I know how to, it's off. It went off. Okay. Right? All right. That was good. I had a little rehearsal. This I'm hoping is going to be a less than 15-minute video. Ha ha ha. Although the one that I'll be releasing today, the next coding challenge, is 22 minutes long. Shocker. Okay. All right, here we go, everybody. Hello and welcome to today's coding challenge, the Ulam spiral, also known as the prime spiral. No, I actually like to say it the other way around. Oh, I did a whole rehearsal and everything, but fine, I'm just going to keep that in. It's the prime spiral, also known as the Ulam spiral. I don't know, what do you call it? Now, why am I doing this coding challenge, you might ask? I have a new system. Last week on the Coding Train's Twitch stream, yes, I'm streaming a little bit on Twitch and on YouTube. Someday I'll figure out where I'm streaming, but for now, try to find me on both places. I spun a wheel of ideas and it landed on the Ulam spiral. So here I am to execute that plan. It was a week ago. I took a little bit of time to read the Wikipedia page and look at some diagrams on Wolfram's Math World. But really, this is not something I've tried before. I'm just going to give it a whirl and see where it leads. First, what is the Ulam spiral? So it's named for the Polish mathematician Stanislaw Ulam. And I think that the story goes that he was sitting in a lecture, bored, and doodling numbers, drawing them in this sort of spiral pattern, and then marking ones that were prime. And lo and behold, this pattern emerged. Now this might not look too exciting to you, but it's truly a mathematical wonder. But it's truly a mathematical wonder. If we took any spiral pattern of natural numbers and kind of marked them randomly with a similar distribution of primes, we would not see any discernible pattern. But this, the set P, and what I'm showing you here, by the way, is from the 1964 American Mathematical Monthly. I have no idea if I just got that right, but I'm going to put all of the proper citation information on the screen and in the description. The set P appears to exhibit a strongly non-random appearance. A different appearance from randomly chosen sets whose densities are like those of primes. So I want to just code this, execute it. I think if this is confusing to you, like what's going on here, hopefully the ideas here will reveal themselves as we start to make it happen in P5GS and maybe also processing. And there are really two, and to make this happen, there are really two things that I need to figure out how to do. So hopefully you're going to learn two new coding techniques. One is, how do I arrange numbers along a spiral pattern? And two, how do I write an algorithm to determine whether a number is prime or not prime? Composite would be the other word if it's not prime. Yeah, I'll get to the diagonal lines. Thank you, Simon, for pointing that out. I guess maybe I should have mentioned it. We could splice this, do you notice those diagonal lines that are appearing? Why is that? Well, it's, of course, due to the fact that the lines corresponding to quadratic forms, which are factorable, are devoid of primes. Mm-hmm. Aha! Aha! All right, so let's begin by looking at the spiral pattern itself. So the way this works is we start with the number 1. I will then move to the right to draw the number 2. It sounds so weird. I bet you almost 10 years ago when that number file video was made, nobody was trying to draw the number 1 with 10 different takes. Let's start by looking at the spiral pattern itself. So I'm going to write the number 1. Then I'm going to move one space to the right. I could draw this as a grid, but I'm going to assume the grid being there, or maybe show you the grid in post. So I'm going to move one space to the right on this theoretical grid and draw the number 2, write the number 2. Then I'm going to move up and write the number 3. Then I'm going to move over to the left and do 4. and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so I'm starting with just all of the numbers between 1 and 25. We can see it ends up in a 5 by 5 grid. Let me erase those arrows there because they're a little distracting. So I'm trying to decide if I want to go into the prime thing now or just go back to the code and start doing this. Like honestly, like the prime thing is almost secondary in a way. Let me think here. I'm doing here. Yeah, because I'm gonna mark them as prime because I'm here. Why not? Now I'm getting ahead of myself here because really all that I want. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit because I'm in my own head too much here. Let me just go over. Let's go code this first. Let's go code this first. Let's see what the chat is saying. My feet are cold. I said it wasn't cold in here. It wasn't a moment ago. It was like really warm because I had the heater running and I turned it off. The boiler is for a different, it's so complicated, the system I have and all these, you don't want to know. All right. Of course, the next step here would be for me to start marking the ones that are prime and not prime, but let's actually even not worry about that at all. Okay, I want to say composite. The next step, of course, for me would be to start marking the numbers that are prime versus the numbers that are composite, maybe using color, some other types of visual mechanism to visual. Stop, no more takes, just do it once, just do it once. Just keep going. It's already 4:30. The next step here, of course, would be for me to start marking the numbers that are prime, maybe marking the numbers that are composite, different colors, circles, squares, triangles, whatever visual stuff that I want to try. And I'm excited for you to do. Just stop rambling. Get on with it. Get on with it. Chef man. The next step, of course, would be for me to start marking the numbers that are prime or the numbers that are composite. I could use different colors or different shapes. So many visual possibilities. But before I get there, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's just see if I can figure out how to write the code to draw this spiral itself. And I know that I erased those arrows, and now I'm realizing I really want them in there because I need to understand how it is that I'm turning and which direction I'm going. Now I can clearly see this as a spiral. Just checking up on the chat. I love the chat. Okay, what really made me laugh is this stream might produce 2 videos, one about the spiral and one about his home appliances. Welcome to, what was that show, A Better House? No. It's like an old PBS show when I was a kid about, Home Improvement was the sitcom based on it. Bob Villa was his name? I'm so confused. Somebody will tell me. Okay. So let's go to the editor. Let's make the font bigger. Let's do 5 by 5. Okay. Is this now? I want you. You should be aware that sometimes I'm ending up standing in front of the code while I'm recording, but it's not a big deal because we rearrange it when I. But if this old house, thank you, K-Fon. Thank you. This old house. Why couldn't I remember that? Okay. Let's begin. So first things first, I need to figure out where is my starting point. Do you hear that airplane flying overhead? I'm going to start in the middle of the canvas. Then I need to keep track of what number am I on, and I'm going to start with the number 1. Let's actually draw the number 1 in the center of the canvas. $50 at 5 by 5. Yeah, we can do 64. Okay. There we go. Now, I need to take one step to the right and increase the number. What does one step to the right mean? Well, if I want to recreate what I have on the whiteboard and have it be 5 by 5, currently my canvas is 500 by 500, so each step is 100 pixels. Now, of course, the numbers just go way off the screen. Let's try, and at some point I might want to save all of the information about the spiral into an array or something. But just to begin, I'm just going to draw a background and setup. And we can see 1, 2, 3. But I need to, once I've gotten to 2, turn left and move up. Let's go take a look at that diagram again. So I need to make a rotation. How often? I make one step and then I make a rotation. Then I make one step and then I make another rotation. Then I take 2 steps and I make a rotation. Then I take 2 steps and make a rotation. Oh wait, I'm seeing a pattern. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Oh well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hold on. Let me get, do I have another color marker? Yeah, this works. Okay. Wait, I see a chat message coming in Discord. Wrong view. Thank you. Thank you. Apologies for that, everyone. The good news, like I said, is that was being recorded. So even though you missed me showing that, it will end up in the edited version of this video. All right. Let me look at this again. We're taking 1 step and then 1 step, and then 2 steps and then 2 steps. No. 1, 1, 2. Yeah, 2. Then 3. Okay. Then 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4. Aha! And then it would be 5 and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Wait a second. What did I get wrong here? What am I missing? Oh! Ah! I'm 100% right. I'm just in my own head here. 1, because I stopped, right? the prime spiral never ends, in theory. I'm like, why is it 4, 4, and then this is wrong? Well, this is only 4, but if I were to keep going, I would have a fifth, and I would have 5, and then this would be 5, and then I would have 6, and then 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, right? So we are every 2 turns increasing the number of steps we go by 1. Let's see if I can implement that. Hopefully it made some sense to you. I think by writing the code, it will further elaborate and illustrate what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Okay, so this is actually the step is actually the step size. Let's call it that, step size. Because if num modulus 2 equals 0, right, I need another variable. Number of steps, which starts at 1. If num modulus 2, and I can actually call this, you know what I think would make sense? Instead of calling this num, let's call this step. Like, what step am I on? So I have the step size, the number of steps I need to take before I turn. I could maybe use some help naming these variables. I might refactor this. X is moving by the step size. The step goes up by 1. If the step modulus 2 equals 0, then there's probably a very fancy way I could do this, but let me just have a variable called state. And I'm going to use a switch statement. And famously, because what am I? As you know, if you've ever watched The Coding Drain before, I cannot possibly retain in my brain the syntax for a switch statement. But let's see if I could do this for once. This might be a historic moment, the first time I correctly type out a switch statement without an error. Switch, I've already forgotten. Switch state, case 0, colon. That can't be right. Oh, case 0 colon? Yes. X plus equals step size. Break. Case 1. Case 1. No, wait. What? I'm going to have to look it up. I'm just going to have to look it up. Case 1. But let me think about this, right? Again, whiteboard. Case 0, X goes up. Case 1, Y goes, because we're flipped, Y goes down. X goes, X plus plus, Y minus minus, X minus minus, Y plus plus. Case 1, Y minus equals step size. Case 2, X. This is so, I can't look at this anymore. I have to figure out the syntax. Switch. The chat is telling me parentheses around state. Oh, I think I got it right. I just was missing the parentheses. So close. I think this is right. Move to the right, up, to the left, down. If step modulus 2 equals 0, the state should change. State equals state plus 1. I need to get rid of this. All right, so that was wrong. Okay, a couple things. One is that, and let me make the frame rate 1 just so we can watch it more slowly. 1, 2, 3. No, turn! Not up there, turn there! So first of all, I need to, as the state gets to 4, cycle it back down to 0. So I can use the modulo operator. Oh! Wait a second. And then the no, not modulus 2. Not modulus 2. It's modulus. The whole point of this was not every 2 to turn. It's every, that's why I know I didn't switch the camera. I don't know why I wrote 2 in there with the whole, I just worked out this whole thing where it's modulo 1, then go 2 before you turn, then go 3 before you turn. Whenever every 2, but I need to do 2 of the same step size before I turn. Not before I turn, before I change the step size. This is hard. Okay, wait. I could totally do this. Okay. Oh, not step size. Number of steps. This is why my variables aren't named very well. Every number should be a turn now. There we go. Okay, this is I'm getting somewhere. Every number is a turn. But after I move twice, so I don't know if I really need another variable, but if I add another variable, I'm pretty sure I can execute this, and then maybe we can go back and see if it's unnecessary. So I'm going to do like turn counter equals 0. So this is a turn. So every time I turn, I increase the turn counter. And if the turn counter modulus, if the turn counter modulo 2 is 0, then the number of steps I need to take increases. Okay. I think I got it right. I think I'm just off by 1 because the very first move is like a count of the turn counter. No. Oh, this is so frustrating. What a simple idea, and yet I seem to have gotten it wrong. Okay. I'm thinking about this. So close, right? let me see if I can figure this out by looking at the whiteboard. I lost my marker. What are we time-wise? 4:50. Oh my God. I'm just looking at the time. I've lost my whiteboard marker. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. All right, let's think about our variables here. This red variable is the number of steps. Sorry that this whiteboard shakes. I need to get that fixed. This black number, and I probably should have colored that red, but this black number is the step. Then I have the state, which is telling me which way to go. So if the step starts at 1, the number of steps should increase after that every 2 times. Go to 2, go to 3. Increase. Go to 4, go to 5. Go to 6, go to 7. Increase. All right. So I think I have this right. I should just be saying every time I change the state twice, every time the state changes twice, modulo 2, increase the number of steps. Yeah, no. Turn counter starts at 1. Technically, hold on, let's just get this right. So the first time through, the state is 0, and it moves over by 1. Then step now becomes 2. You know what? This is a little bit silly, but this should definitely be down here in the way that I'm thinking about it. And you know what? That was actually just the problem. Why was that the only problem? But that was the problem. But I was trying to figure it out. I needed to think it through, but I just moved it and it worked. But I realized that as I was going, because the values are all correct for what I want to do, but I increased the step at the wrong time. Ta-da! Do I need to explain that better? I'm just trying to think. I think I'm going to try to, and we could always cut it out. Yes, please. Okay. What I would like to be able to see, and is this code as I'm over at the whiteboard. So let's see. I'm doing this, and I'm going to go over to the whiteboard. So I think I can see it from over here. Yeah, I can see it. All right. Let's start over. I forgot, as I was working through this, I forgot one of my variables, which is turn counter. So all of these variables start at 1 because the first time I draw the 1, that is step 1. Step is which number am I at? State is which way am I about to turn, which way am I about to go? And then turn counter is a change of state. So this should really be called like change of state counter, but again, we're going to keep it at turn counter. So as step is increasing, if I say step modulo num steps, this means I should only ever change the state. This means I should only ever change the state. I should only ever turn every number of every number of steps. So at the beginning, that's 1. So go 1 step, turn. Go 1 step, turn. But then, the next time, I need to go 2 steps. So every 2 changes of states, modulo 2, every 2 changes of states increase the number of steps, the number of times before I turn. So I'm going to go 1 and 1, modulo 2, increase number of steps to 2. So now I need to do, the state is at this point, the state was 0, then the state was 1, now the state is 2, but I need to go 2 more times before I change the state again, then go 2 more times before I change the state again, and that increases the turn counter 2 more times, which means modulo 2, increase the number of steps to 3. And there I go. So my logic was sound all along. It's a little bit of a it's a little bit tangled up in the sort of complex naming of my variables, but certainly it wouldn't work if what I'm doing is taking the step before I actually take the step. And that means that the order of operations here is important. Check if I need to change my state. Do I need to turn? If I do, turn. Every 2 turns, change the number of steps before which I turn. And we can we can comment this out, the frame rate, and we can see it fill up super fast. Now let's make this a bit higher resolution just to be able to see more numbers at first. I think it'll always be nicer if it's an odd number of columns and rows, right? Because then I get the 1 perfectly situated in the center. What do I want? So it's 5 by 5 with 100. I could make it 50 by 50. I could also make it 25 by 25 by having it be, the step size be 20. I think it'll be 25 by 25 if the step size is 20. And then, of course, I need to have the text size be mapped to the size of what I'm doing here. So let's actually just see what happens if I just set the text size to step size. Yeah, that works pretty well. Let's also set the text font to Courier, so we have a nice fixed width font. Because the numbers are getting so high, it's all overlapping. Thank you for everybody talking about that. I do need to fix up the chat. I don't know if St. Plays is still watching, but I think St. Plays, you might have you might have permissions. So I think I want to. So I could go down this, what's it called on a train where you have that junction? I could, a switcher. I could take the train along the track towards making the numbers look really nice, but I think actually I don't feel now that I need to count, and I think that it would be nicer for me to just actually draw a rectangle in each of these spots. And that actually can be a square. Junction, yeah. Beautiful. So I think there's a lot of fun to be had just with that spiral pattern. And probably I could have done something where I draw it all at once instead of drawing it, animate the spiral. Maybe I could use some other type of formula to compute what index I'm at and just kind of draw it as columns and rows. I could use a two-dimensional array. So there's lots of other ways you probably could approach this problem. But what I like about what I'm doing is I can choose to visualize this in a variety of different forms. For example, what if I want to draw a dot at each one of these spots and connect those dots with a line? So this is it with dots, but let me add previous x and previous y. Ooh. So this is a nice little happy accident where I never actually moved the previous x, so all the lines are being drawn from the center. Kind of a nice little pattern there. When do I want to update previous x? Right after I draw it, right? So save the previous one. There we go. So now I'm drawing it connected. Ooh, I'm liking this very much already. This will actually keep going forever, which is a nice, this is still going even after it's filled the space entirely. So it would make sense for me to put some type of exit condition in here. So what is the total steps? It's the number of columns and rows in this grid. The number of columns is the width of the canvas divided by the step size. So I could calculate that really quickly here. And again, it's a square, so what I'm doing is a little bit unnecessary, but just in case we were to do it a different way, maybe. So now, in theory, once the step has reached the total number of steps, it's traversed every single spot, I can just stop the animation from happening by calling no loop. Let's wait and see. Oh no! Look at that empty spot! That should do the trick. Woohoo! All right. Are you ready? Are you ready for the Ulam spiral? I've got to have another color somewhere. Now remember, is the boiler about to go on? Now remember, there's like something creaking. It's a little creepy. Now remember, the idea of the Ulam spiral is for me to specifically note every occurrence of a prime. I'm going to do that with this green marker. You know what? Let me just get. Now remember, the idea of the Ulam spiral, the prime spiral, is for me to note, to render, to draw a color, a point, a dot at every one of these numbers that happens to be a prime number. What is a prime number? A prime number is any natural number for which there are no two other natural numbers besides itself and 1, which when multiplied together equal that number. It has no factors other than itself and 1. Yeah, I think that's the right definition. Somebody will correct me in the chat, and I'll come back and fix that if I need to. 1 is prime. 2 is prime. Aha, 2, by the way, as we're going to see, is the only even number that is prime, right? Because any other even number is divisible by 2. So 2 being the only even number that's prime, which really makes it kind of odd. Somebody on Twitter sent me that joke, so I really can't take credit for it. 3, prime. 4, not prime. 5, prime. 6, not prime. 7, prime. 8, not prime. 9, not prime. 10, not prime. 11, prime. $19 is prime, right? Yeah. 23 is prime. And here we go, the beginnings of the, and here we are, we're seeing this wonderful aspect, this magical, and here we are seeing what is the magic, the sort of surprising beauty of the Ulam spiral. Why are the prime numbers arranged so often in these diagonals? Now we're using very, very few here, so we're barely scratching the surface of this, but let's go and actually implement this now in our code so we can see many more numbers of the prime spiral. I'm going to do a stop and start recording. Oh, 1 is not prime. Oh no. Oh no. Of course, 1 is not prime. Let me understand why that is. I mean, list of prime numbers. I see. Greater than 1. Ah, the boiler. Okay, this is good. This is a good point for me to do stop and start. So 2 doesn't fall on one of the diagonal lines, which is correct, except I imagine if we were to expand it out, we might see that it does, or maybe 2, because of its weirdness, does not. So let me, I've got to wait for the boiler to stop. I'm going to check my messages. Oh, come on, boiler. So everyone's, let me just get this out of the way. My garage is a completely separate building from the house. So the house has its own electrics, heat, everything, and it has a relatively well-working, newish system. The garage has this 1970s boiler for some heat that I'm not using, and there's like a bathroom here, so there's hot water for that. I'm trying to get rid of that boiler. I have electric heaters now. I have solar power, but it hasn't been pulled out yet. So it goes every so often. So I can turn it off. I can turn off the heat. I can manipulate everything here in the garage. The house is fine. Just in case everyone was wondering. But I need it to turn off. Let me try to turn it off. But, and Murphy's Law is as I try to figure out how to turn it off. So I see a big red button. Warning, fire hazard. No. I don't see like a power switch. I could go to the, I definitely don't want to mess with, oh, here it is. Ha-ha, the switch. Well, that was easy. I haven't lived here for very long, okay? And the garage is not my main concern in terms of living. Okay, that's taken care of. Somebody remind me to turn it back on. And by the way, I have a friend who's staying, and they're going to be coming through the garage probably any minute now. I was sure I'd be done. So I'll be interrupted as well. But we're actually not that far from being done. Oh, okay, I was at the point where okay. Oh dear, I have made a terrible, terrible mistake. The definition of a prime number, my definition was pretty correct, but I missed a very important point, which is to say a prime number is a natural number greater than 1. So let me come over here and erase this and fix it. The 1 is not a prime number. And yes, I think 2 will never be in a diagonal with any other prime because it is an even number, and this diagonal will only have even numbers in it. And this is one of the wonderful things about the prime spiral. It's not some perfect arrangement of numbers in diagonals. And yet, there are exceptions. And yet, these diagonals do emerge. And so the next thing I need to do is write a function that receives a number and returns true or false depending on whether it's prime. Now, this could potentially... Now, certainly I could use some kind of pre-built lookup table of primes, but let's write the algorithm. I'm sure this is something I've done before, although I have no immediate memory of doing so. So, and I'm going to turn off auto refresh here for a second. So what do I need to do? I need to figure out if any other number other than itself or 1 is a factor of value. So I can look at every number starting at 2 all the way up to value. And if value modulo I is 0, I think I better take a bit of a minute more to explain this. Let's take the number 8, for example. So value is 8. Starting at 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to look at the value, the number 8, modulo every number from 2 all the way up to itself. Now, in truth, I think I'm going to be able to lop off half of these numbers, and I'll get to that. But this was a bad example. Let's use, it's too late, I'm using 8. Let me pick a different example. Like, what if I use, no, I don't want to use any even number. So I guess I could use a prime number. Let's use a prime number. To understand this, let's take a scenario. Let's say I'm trying to determine if the number 7, which we know is prime, is prime. So in the function, the variable value would be the number 7. So I want to take the number 7 and test whether it's divisible by any number from 2 all the way up to itself. And I don't need to include itself. Ugh. How do I know if a number is divisible by another one? Well, if I take that number, divide it by that number, and get a remainder of 0, then it is divisible. It is a factor of that number. And how do I get the remainder of division? That's what the modulo operator does. The modulus of one number modulo another number is the remainder of division. I think I used the terms correctly for once in my life here. 7 modulo 2 is 1. 7 modulo 3 is 1. 7 modulo 4 is 3. 7 modulo 5 is 2. 7 modulo 6 is 1. So 7 is prime because none of these are 0. Now, if I was using 8, as soon as I did 8 modulo 2, I'd get 0. And so I know 8 is not prime because one of those values of the modulo operation returns 0. However, I don't need to do anything past half of the number, right? Because I know that if I'm taking the number 16, for example, 16 divided by 2 is 8. There's nothing that no number greater than 8 could you multiply by to get 16. So I can actually, my loop can go from 2 all the way up to value divided by 2. So up to value divided by 2. I'm going to create a variable called, probably shouldn't call my variable is prime if the function is prime. prime-y, I'm going to assume the value of it is prime. If value modulo I equals 0, prime-y equals false, and I can break out of the loop, and then I can say return prime-y. I've got a bit of an error here. This bracket goes with this bracket. Why am I not seeing the syntax error here? Square root of num. No, that's all right, that's a good correction. I will correct that. But what's going on here? Oh, there's an. Oh, I just need to scroll down. I had another little curly bracket there. Ah. By the way, little known fact, and you can't see this right now because my laptop is in the way, but we'll be able to fix that in post. Well, I guess I'll try to. Yeah, let me just fix that now. Okay. So I've written my function just to test if it works. I can say is prime. And by the way, you can do this now in the P5 web editor. You can execute code in the console. Is prime 7? True. Is prime 10? False. All right, so hopefully it works correctly. What's that? I can do better than just divided by 2? Thank you, live Twitch chat that's participating in this recording session. I can do all the way up to square root of the number, since I can only go up to square root of the number squared, and never higher. So that's possibly one additional optimization. Well, a value. But square root is a slow operation, so I could even do a test of like I squared or something, but is less than value squared. But this is too much. Like, I don't really need to worry about optimizing this right now. If I wanted to optimize the visualization, it probably would make sense for me to like pre-compute a whole bunch of primes, and calculating whether a number is prime in optimal ways is the subject for another video. Would love to hear your favorite algorithm for doing so in the comments, and maybe I can return and look at some of those in a future live stream or video. But let me make sure my square root possibility works. No. 25 is not prime. Less than or equal to, it must be. There, yes. Obviously, I need to check 5, okay? I can't check only up to the square root. I've got to check the square root. 7 is prime. Let's try a much higher prime number. Two, 1, 3, 7. Let's give that one a whirl. 2, 1, 3, 7. Let's give that one a whirl. There we go. I think my function is working. So in theory, let's try only drawing the circle now if the value is prime. Let's make the circle a little bit bigger, just so we can see it. And drum roll, please. Looks pretty great. Oh dear. Have I let 1 be prime again? Oh. Two is prime, 3 is prime, so that's a nice fix to it. Oh, I don't have auto refresh on. There we go. Now I've gotten rid of 1 as prime. Well, this is just lovely. And complete. Look at those diagonal lines. Let's see how far we can push this just in P5 itself. I'm changing the step size to 5. And while this is running in the background, let me just finish off this video by very quickly porting this to processing, which is a nice environment for me to try to render a really high resolution image. So let's see how that goes. And to do that, I am going to And to do that, and the other thing we're going to get is you get to see the newest processing for beta. Yay! I actually haven't downloaded it. It's processing 4.0 beta 5 as of February 3rd, 2022. Today is February 11th, 2022. Processing is in use. I'm not running it. It's not open. And I know since I went to a new tab, it's not Go rendering anymore. Oh, it is. And if you haven't seen it, Processing 4 has a theme selector. But this one is my favorite. All right, so this did not continue to animate because the canvas will go to sleep in the background if it's not currently live. Also, I realize now this, I don't need the break. I can just say return false right here. And I actually don't need this primary variable. If I get to the end, I can just return true. So I was struggling to name that, and now I've even made it simpler. So let's leave this running in the background. I'm going to take all of this code, and I'm going to copy paste it into processing. And I'm going to use my magic typing power to very quickly port this over from JavaScript into Java, which is the programming language behind processing. Stop. Well, that was surprisingly easy. Let's check on our browser. Still churning away. In processing, I am going to remove the lines. And I am going to do the entire thing all at once. So instead of drawing it as an animation, I just want to see the whole thing all at once. Let's see. So let me circle back and just say a few quick notes about this conversion. So variables need types in processing. That's what int is for integer. Functions need to specify their return type. So I've got to specify Boolean. Again, the argument needs a function. The argument needs a data type. If a function doesn't return something, I say void, create canvas's size. Otherwise, pretty much everything is the same. And there we go. Boom, just like that. That's even higher resolution. Now let's make the step size 1. And we can zoom into it and see, there we go. I'm going to do that again so Mathieu can do it. We can zoom into it and see, there we go. Let's see how far we can push this. Whoops. Save this as the prime spiral. Let's say at the end, save prime spiral.png. And then I'm going to say exit. Oh, I don't need to exit. We can see it. And let's make this, I don't know, 1920 by 1920. Let's see how long this takes to compute. Whoa! Amazing. I can look at the image I just saved. I can look at the image I just saved, and I can zoom way into it and see there we've got the prime spiral. This one is still humming along. Now, before I go, let's go back to that paper. I should probably fact check myself and compare this image exactly to what I created and see if it matches. I should probably fact check myself and compare this image to what I created and see if they match exactly. Hopefully they do. I think it would be interesting also to look at what would it mean for me to do exactly the same algorithm but randomly select points for being drawn or not. Have those random values, have those random numbers around the same distribution. What am I trying to say? Love to see it in color. Yes, you could save it as a PDF. Right. So if you want to understand more about the Ulam spiral and the prime spiral, there's a wonderful number file video that I haven't watched all the way through because I didn't want it to inform what I'm doing so much. But as soon as I stop recording this, I'm going to go and watch it. And I'll link to it in the video description. Obviously, there's other references online that you could read about, as well as this original article from American Mathematics Monthly. This original article from... I don't know. This article from the American, like this article from the American Mathematical Monthly. Which talks about how the lines correspond to quadratic forms. I'm also going to put up on the screen here, I'll do this later, I'm going to make a version of this spiral where I randomly pick points to draw a circle for, whether or not they're prime. But that distribution of how many points I pick randomly will follow the same distribution of prime numbers. That distribution is referenced here in this paper as log n over n. So if I have a total number of points as 5,000, I need to randomly pick log 5,000 divided by 5,000 points. That's not exactly right. That's not a I need to randomly pick a distribution of log 5,000 over 5,000. So we can see, is there really a pattern to the primes, or is it just random? I think you'll see, I expect, as I'm showing you, there really is a pattern there. What other beauty can you find in the Ulam spiral, in the prime spiral? I want you to show me. So take this code, try color, try shapes, try 3D. I don't know, anything that you could imagine, and share it with me. In the video description, I'll include links on how you can do that. And I can't wait to see you on the next coding challenge. I don't know what it is yet. I'm going to spin the wheel during my live stream. Maybe I'll include a clip of that here. Probably not. Goodbye. Choo-choo. Okay, stop recording. All right, how do we do, everybody? Log the number of points so far divided by the number of points so far. Oh, and there's a video from 3 Blue 1 Brown with more patterns. We'll click on that. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, There's also a wonderful video from the 3 Blue 1 Brown channel with a variety of other kinds of patterns of prime numbers that you should check out and see if you can create as well. And I don't understand that because ultimately I'm going to do a probability description of the n number of points. So the number of points so far is the number of points I'm going to do in total. But anyway, I'll work that out and I'll correct it later if I need to. I might be missing something obvious. Let me spin the wheel because I got to go. Shoot, how do I find that? Hold on. I need to bookmark it. Wheel, random. Oh, I was doing it locally. Right. Shoot. That's why I had terminal open, because okay, hold on, everybody. Sorry, I really got to go. Boy, I did not have, as usual, I didn't have time to do. Oh, and I got to release the video. So please tune into the coding train whenever I release that video. Randomizer. Now I should be able to go to here. Yeah. Okay, the Ulam spiral. We remove that one. It's off the wheel. All right, everybody. Sorry that this is so rushed. For the first point, you should pass in 1. For the second point, you should put in 2. All right, I'm gonna investigate that, and I'll put something on the screen, or I'll correct it. I'll correct it later. But I'm out of time, so apologies for that. Or I'll just cut that part. We'll see. But thank you for the clarification, Simon. All right, here it goes. We are going to get. I just did the Ulam spiral. Wait, hold on. Oh no, let me keep spinning it. I just did the Ulam spiral, recorded today's coding challenge, and now I'm spinning the wheel for the next one, which I will record next Friday, although I might have a conflict next Friday. We shall see. Sometime next week. What are we going to get? Slime mold, fast blur, Katy tree, mandelbub, falling sand, slide puzzle solver. No, keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Oh no. End body problem. Can I spin again, people? I really didn't want that one. Well, the wheel is spoken. I have to do what it says. Maybe we can come up with some rules by which, do I have like a veto, one veto? I just don't feel ready for that right now. But at least it wasn't the slide puzzle solver. It's too soon. Too soon to the slide puzzle. End body problem will be interesting. It's related to nature of code. That's what I'm doing next week. I'll research it. I'll come back and do another Twitch stream if I feel like I need to spin the wheel for some reason. Unfortunately, I really have to go. Okay. I have to go. My son is home. My daughter will be home later. I wanted to, I don't know when I'm going to release that video, but it'll probably be, it might be tomorrow at this point, but I'm excited for you all to see it. I don't know if Friday night might be like a weird time to set a video to public on YouTube, so I'll probably do it tomorrow. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'll turn the boiler back on. Thank you. Oh my God, I almost forgot. Is there somebody that we can raid? There was a Twitch stream. Oh yeah, Shirley Wu has a Twitch channel. There goes the boiler's back on. Thank you for reminding me that, people. What would I do without you? Let's see who is. I'm just going to go back to here. I'm going to put on my goodbye music. And I'm going to go to my Twitch dashboard. I'm going to turn the volume off. And video producer, stream manager. Who can I raid? Who can we raid? I wasn't going to do a raid because I was going to send everybody over to YouTube to watch the video as I released it, but unfortunately. Was the music super loud? Apologies for that. No channel I'm following is currently. Here, I'll just turn. No channel I'm following is currently. So first of all, I apologize. Thank you to anybody who might have joined today or subscribed or gave me some bits or some kind of artificial Twitch currency or something. A huge thank you. It means a lot to me. I'm sorry that I'm not following that closely. If you did join as a subscriber, you should have permissions in Discord. You can contact Kobe at thecodingtrain.com. If you have questions about that, he manages the Discord and will help onboard you and all of that. So sorry about the loud music. I will see you all next week. I'm probably going to do a YouTube stream. I'm going back and forth. I haven't figured this out yet. Thank you for bearing with me and trying to follow me. Come into the Discord. I always announce it. If you subscribe to the notifications. By the way, for my next video, I'm going to use an @everyone. I just want to put that out there. I really try to but I'm going to use the @everyone for the next Coding Train video because I'm really excited for people to sort of like find it and see the new production style. All right, and if you want a sneak peek, if you have those member or subscriber privileges, you'll be able to do so. Okay, I'm all done. I gotta go have dinner. Gotta pick up my daughter from school in a couple hours after the dance and all of that stuff. Okay, yes, I turned the boiler back on. It's okay. I'm gonna put on this outro thingy and put on this dot song, but basically I'm just gonna shut this off in
As always, I
approximately
always
1
forget
minute.
this dot,
Hopefully
this
this music is not too loud.
This dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do dot, this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do dot, this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot. I'm gonna do the this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot, the this dot song. Never forget the this dot.
Bye.
Somebody composed that song for me.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna press this button, stop streaming now.